Sarah had always dreamed of speaking English fluently. Growing up in a small town where the language was rarely spoken, she felt it held the key to unlocking a world of opportunities. She imagined traveling to new places, reading her favorite books in their original form, and connecting with people globally. Yet, a formidable obstacle stood in her way. English felt like an insurmountable mountain. Many times, Sarah had attempted to improve her English only to be met with confusion and frustration. The grammar seemed impenetrable, the vocabulary endless, and speaking in front of others filled her with anxiety. It was tempting to surrender, to convince herself that fluency was an impossible dream. But deep down, she knew that if she truly desired a different life, she had to persevere. Chapter 19, Building the Foundation. One day, Sarah decided to approach English learning differently. She realized that fluency demanded a strong foundation. She started small, focusing on vocabulary. Each day, she committed to learning 10 new words. But mere memorization wasn't enough. She actively used them in sentences, wrote them in her journal, and tried to incorporate them into simple conversations. To aid her memory, Sarah created flashcards, writing the word on one side and a sentence using it on the other. These cards became her constant companions, pulled out during waits in line or bus rides for quick self-quizzing. Gradually, these words became an organic part of her everyday language. Next, she began practicing sentence structures, aiming for natural fluency. While understanding grammar was important, she avoided getting bogged down by complex rules, instead focusing on forming sentences organically. Sarah discovered that speaking simple sentences aloud, even to herself, significantly boosted her confidence. For instance, upon learning, exhausted, she would repeatedly say, "I feel exhausted after a long day at work," until it felt natural. Chapter 21, The Power of Immersion. As her vocabulary expanded, Sarah integrated reading into her daily routine. She understood that reading was an excellent way to see words and sentences in their natural context. Rather than tackling difficult novels immediately, she chose materials suited to her current level: short stories, children's books, and articles on topics she enjoyed. She read slowly, ensuring comprehension of each sentence, and any new word was promptly added to her flashcards. Her reading wasn't passive. After finishing a chapter or article, Sarah would summarize its content, either by writing it down or speaking it aloud. This practice not only enhanced her comprehension, but also helped her internalize new words and phrases. A favorite strategy was rereading the same material multiple times. The first read focused on general meaning, the second on details like grammar and structure, and by the third, she could read fluently, almost like a native speaker. This repetition solidified her understanding and built her reading confidence. Chapter 3, Finding Her Voice. Fluency extends beyond knowing words or reading well. It's about effective communication. Sarah knew that to become truly fluent, she needed to practice listening and speaking. She began simply listening to English songs and repeating the lyrics. Music became a fun and effective way to practice pronunciation and rhythm. Next, she moved to podcasts and audiobooks. Initially, understanding everything was a challenge. so she selected materials appropriate for her level. She found podcasts on subjects she loved: cooking, travel, personal growth, and listened daily, often pausing to repeat phrases or note interesting expressions. But listening wasn't enough. Sarah understood she had to speak even if it felt uncomfortable. She started by talking to herself in English, narrating her day. "I'm making breakfast," she'd say, or "I need to buy groceries today." This self-talk helped her to think directly in English and grow more comfortable with the language. Sarah also found an online language exchange partner. They met twice a week via video call, speaking English for half the time and her partner's native language for the other half. These conversations were invaluable, pushing Sarah to speak in real time, think on her feet, and learn from her mistakes. Chapter 40. The importance of consistency. As weeks turned into months, Sarah observed remarkable improvement in her English. She could read and comprehend more complex texts, converse with greater ease, and even think in English without mental translation. The secret to her progress was unwavering consistency. Every single day, Sarah dedicated time to her English practice, treating it like a mental workout requiring discipline and regular effort. Some days were harder than others. There were moments of frustration when words wouldn't come or when she made errors. Yet, Sarah understood that fluency wasn't about perfection, but about progress. She maintained a journal of her learning journey, documenting successes, struggles, and new vocabulary. On discouraging days, she would review her journal, seeing how far she had come, reminding herself that each small step brought her closer to her goal. Chapter 50, Reaching Fluency and Beyond. After a year of dedicated practice, Sarah's English had transformed dramatically. She could read books in English, hold natural conversations with native speakers, and even watch movies without subtitles. But she recognized that the journey was ongoing. Fluency is a lifelong pursuit. Sarah continued to challenge herself by setting new goals. She joined a local English speaking club, allowing her to practice her skills in a social environment. She also began writing short stories in English, using her creativity to express herself in a new language. These new challenges kept her motivated and propelled her continued improvement. Conclusion: the power of persistence. Sarah's path to fluency was not easy. There were times she wanted to quit, when obstacles seemed too vast and progress too slow. But she learned that the key wasn't talent or luck, it was sheer persistence. By consistently practicing vocabulary, reading, listening, and speaking, Sarah transformed her dream into a vibrant reality. Her story stands as a testament to the profound power of never giving up. No matter how daunting it appears, every effort brings you closer to your goal. Remember, fluency is not about perfection, it's about progress. Keep going, stay motivated, and believe in yourself. Just like Sarah, you can achieve fluency in English, one determined step at a time.